Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are actually looking at Meguiars Ultimate Polish. Yeah, I know, I sort of teased it a little while ago when I had my nostalgia moment, but today we're actually testing it, and we're testing it against its old version and the Mother's competitor. Now, this bottle for Mother's, they did change it now. It's got the fancier tops, like these ones, which are fantastic, by the way. But yeah, this is, as far as I understand, it's the same formula. I don't think they reformulated, but if they did, well, we'll deal with that another time. Forgive me on this one. As I said, the last time I tried doing this, I couldn't capture the swirls because my Prius's paint is not super swirly because I've hardly washed it in the last like 6 months at least. The new car's paint is very swirly. The problem with the new car is it's massive. My garage is only 10 feet wide, so getting in between the side of the panel and the wall while still fitting a tripod and a camera and lights is difficult. And if your lights are too close, and if they're not like very good quality swirl finder lights, which mine are not, it's hard to capture. I ended up finding an angle that worked. I applied these all to the panels. It is a blind test, and I know the footage isn't perfect, but I am corroborating it with my eye, and I have checked it with a light prior to filming it, so the conclusion will be based on checking it as best as possible, and it's been consistent enough in the results on the whole panels, where the whole sections where I tested it up and down, that just trust me, the placing of them is what it what it really is, even if you through the video can't see it exactly. And I apologize. I need to find a better way to test swirling out where I use metal panels in the machine, because I've already done the hood on the van, and the roof isn't any easier, let's put it that way. So we'll figure something out, but it'll be tough to do. So I'm gonna have to look for a scrap panel or something like that. I also could use some good recommendations for swirl finding lights, because I definitely need one of those. But we're gonna get into the test. All polished. Panel was washed, clayed, tar removered, not in that particular order. Polished and panel wiped. So these are raw. There's no fillers, nothing like that. And they're labeled 1, 2, 3, and then after you see this footage, you can tell. We'll come into the conclusion. And if I haven't already, I'll throw up a photo of the swirlies that are on the van currently, because I've only polished a couple panels for test purposes. The rest of it's raw. I haven't touched it at all. Just washed it. So look at those, and then we'll check out the footage. Guess which one you think is winning, and we will meet you back at the conclusion. Okay, guys, filming the shots. This will be section 1 right here. There's control here, and there's some control over here. This has been the toughest thing to film because I don't have super proper swirl lights. There is about 2.5 feet between the van and the wall, and I also have a pile of crap next to me, and it's very hard to move around. So let's just get on with this and film section 1. So you'll see control over here and the side light there, and then there's your correction. I'll try and move it around so you can get a better idea. Obviously right near the tape it's not quite as corrected as the middle, so just watch that, because you don't run the polisher right hard on the tape, because it will sort of gum up the tape and just make a mess. It doesn't cut as much at the tape line. If it was a regular car, you wouldn't have that problem without tape all over it marking off sections. But yeah, and this is the lower part of the door, so this is where it was the worst. So you can see it's definitely cleaned up, but a lot of RDS, a lot of really deep scratches still in there. And this car is swirly, as you've seen in some of the photos. But yeah, there's contestant number 1. Let's move along to number 2. Okay, so here is contestant number 2. You can see control line here, right there, and one over here, and a little easier to get the angles on this guy just because of the little more distance I can put between myself. And overall, it's looking a lot cleaner. And I'm also looking in person just because, again, the camera is very hard to see, but yeah, it is definitely cleaner. I give this a 60% reduction, 60-ish, 65. A lot of small scratches gone, lots of big ones still there, but the other one I'd say was 40 at most. So, all right, let's move on to contestant number 3. All right, we're on contestant number 3. As you can see, I am jamming up against a bunch of stuff, so the angles are hard to get, but you'll see the difference, and you will see the information. It's just you gotta look at it differently. But control line here, and there's another one over here. So let us look. Overall, it's pretty good. I'm looking in person as well. So I got my swirl light so I can check. You're gonna see it's better. I'm gonna give it to number 1, and yeah, they're flickering again. So overall, I think number 1's taking this, and sorry for the seizures. Okay, so you've seen panels, or at least what of it I could capture. Again, my apologies, but I promise the order in which I've been ranking them is what I see in real life. And I bought all these with my own money, so I have every right to expect them all to be good. I don't have any favor sway in one way or the other. They're all almost the same price when I've purchased them too. So the winner is the winner. It doesn't matter to me. But without further ado, in third place is, I think, the original Ultimate Polish. It's pretty close between second and third. And this was section 1, just so you know. Section 1 was this guy. It just didn't seem to have as much correction as the other two. And this is, again, as you saw in the photo, a very swirly panel. But and we're working on the lower section where it's the worst. But it just seemed to have the least effect. It's not a bad product by any stretch of the means. It's very easy to work with. It can be cheap, although in Canada, the price is starting to jump up on these, up into like the $15 to $17 range. It's a great buy at $10. It is not a great buy at $15. So, yeah, it seems okay, but at the same time, I have a hard time justifying this purchase when you can just buy Ultimate Compound. Still have a perfectly finishing product, still well lubricated, but there's a lot more cut. So, whatever. Third place. Second place it was this one, Mothers, and this was section 3. So it was better than this guy, and in my previous video I also agreed that this one seemed to do a bit more cutting. So if you can find this in the $10 range, take it over this version in the $10 range. If you see this one, then as you can see, it's technically first place because there's only one left. It is the best purchase, but this one is not bad. Did remove more than the original Ultimate Polish. Did seem to be as easy to use. Nothing stood out in the easy to use, and I was trying to pay attention to it, but it was easy to use. Maybe it doesn't quite smell as nice as these two. Like Meguiars has a nice scent in them, but Overall, yeah, uh, does better than the original Ultimate Polish. But in first place, the improved formula. I think it's better. I think in this, with my eyes and what I've shown, it looks like this guy has stepped up its cut, because you can see them right next to one another, and it's quite apparent. It's quite apparent how much more cut there was. I'd say a good 15%. So, and just as easy to use. It smelled almost the same from what I can tell. So I was trying to see if I could smell a difference, but they've obviously kept it similar. But yeah, I think they've increased the amount of the cut it has, or what. Still easy to use, easy to wipe off. And yeah, Walmart's been selling this one, I think, for around $11. So pretty good product overall. And I think it now stands out as a better one hit. Like obviously you could use it to take out buffer haze from a very heavy polish or something like that, but I think you could use this on its own and get a reasonable result instead of having to use Ultimate Compound. That's my thoughts on it, at least. But yeah, overall, pretty good stuff. This one, like, literally it's toast, so I needed to replace it anyway. So I've got 2 polishes to replace it with. And overall, very happy. But yeah, the new Ultimate Polish, if you see it and you're out, it's a good buy, I think. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.